12 people were killed, 58 were wounded, including my friend Steve and our friend Petra, who was from Aurora, who we were visiting at the time. I was not hurt. That said, I wouldn't wish what I saw or had to deal with afterward on anybody. There was a lot in the aftermath of the shooting that kind of brought me to a better understanding of what it means that America is the most violent developed nation in the world. I had to call Steve's parents and say, your son's been shot. I had to call Petra's parents and tell her the same thing. I met a family in the hospital they had to tell their family member who was in the hospital, paralyzed from the waist down from a gunshot, that her daughter had died in the theater. Just things like that. Gun violence doesn't just affect, it's not just the statistic that 10,000 people are murdered in America every year to gun violence. It's also the wounded. It's that woman who's paralyzed from the waist down now, and it's her entire family and all of the people who are close to her. So I really think that as a Connecticut resident, as a pretty much lifelong Connecticut resident, that it's my responsibility to be here tomorrow in Hartford to testify before the committee and to try to get more sensible gun laws in place in this state. And the same thing is happening at the same time on the federal level, but it's the Connecticut community, especially after the Newtown tragedy, that really needs to step up and make their voices heard so that we can pass reasonable gun laws.
On this issue specifically for Mayor Bloomberg and his coalition in New York City. I'll be trying to put a face to gun violence, but also speak really about the policies that I think will help prevent these sorts of tragedies from happening in the future.
What are those policies? Are they universal background checks? Are they permits for long guns? Or?
Yeah, obviously Connecticut has specific state issues. And so, I think really if you want to get at the heart of this issue, not just the mass tragedies, but the everyday gun violence that affects so many communities every day, it starts with background checks. It starts with having some measure of control over who is buying these guns. And it's not just extending background checks to all gun sales, but it's also improving the background check system itself, which is like Swiss cheese. Not all the records are in there in the first place. In Connecticut, that would be specifically extending background checks to long guns beyond just handguns. Just ensuring that private sales, which at a national level are estimated to be, comprise half of all gun sales. Ensuring that those guns are not sold without any questions asked. We need to be asking questions. That to me is obviously very important, but I think Connecticut as well should be thinking about strengthening the assault weapons ban and adding more teeth to that. We just have to do something. It's unacceptable. To me that we're still having this conversation after so many tragedies. But that's the thing. We have to keep pushing.